What's up, guys? Chase over here, bringing you another Q&A to my channel. Thank you all very much for sending in your questions. If you guys have questions for me, description box down below with all the details on how you can send in your questions. Thanks for being patient with this one, guys. I'm sorry about this. It's just that right now we're in the home stretch of school. So the home stretch of school consists of like all these final projects and finals that I have to study for. So we're at the home stretch of school. You know, in a couple of weeks I'll be out of college and then I'll lose the second job. So I'll have a lot more free time to upload videos and hopefully get more consistent videos going because I get a lot of questions asked. You know, not just questions for the Q&A, but questions like, hey, where's the Q&A? Where's the Q&A? Where's the Q&A? It's like, dudes, I have a life too. You know, when I get home from my long days, sometimes I like to sit back and relax and not film a video trying to think because my brain is fried from thinking at school all day. So I'm glad that you guys are patient. I'm glad most of you guys understand that, hey, you know, my life doesn't revolve around just filming YouTube videos. It's also other things that I like to do. So just being realistic here, just trying to give you guys a heads up that soon enough, school will be over and then hopefully more regular uploads will come back to this channel. Anyways, let's get started with the Q&A. Stephen Bradley kicks off the Q&A asking, since The Undertaker and Shawn Michaels are both considered Mr. WrestleMania, who's considered Mr. Bound for Glory? Mr. Bound for Glory. Who the fuck cares? Sting. How about that? Sting, Mr. Bound for Glory. He was undefeated at one point in Bound for Glory. Won the TNA World title, NWA World title a bunch of times at Bound for Glory. Yeah, Sting. Sting. Maybe AJ Styles, but mostly Sting. Mr. Bound for Glory. Who cares? Snowdrop asks, which of these will happen first? David Otunga return on WWE television or John Cena putting a young talent over? Where the fuck is David Otunga? I remember during my WrestleMania watching, you know, watching the previous WrestleManias before WrestleMania 31 this year, when I got to WrestleMania 28 and I was watching the Team Teddy versus the Team Johnny Laurinaitis match, when I heard, when you say this is me, you know I got the power. I saw David Otunga. I started laughing. I'm like, where is this mofo? David Otunga. I hope he returns soon. I thought he had Jonathan Coachman appeal to him, that he could become like the coach, the new age coach. I'll say David Otunga returning. I've been waiting for Johnson to put over young talent for years. Fake Sankara asks, me versus Great Khali in a 4-hour Ironman match for the world title. What would you do? Turn it off, because I wouldn't want to watch that. You versus Great Khali. Get out of here. That's as bad as Garbage Man versus Great Khali. Chase Allen asks, in your opinion, was the most overrated and underrated video game series? Overrated video game series? Oh, it has to be Final Fantasy. I don't know how anyone can argue this. Final Fantasy is so overrated. All the Final Fantasy fans will say, no, it's awesome. And I'll say, no, you're overrated. A lot of your games get overrated. As for an underrated video game series, that's really subjective. It just depends on what you think is underrated. You know, I could say the Jack and Daxter series is pretty underrated, but then a lot of people will say, no, it's pretty overrated. To me, it is Jack and Daxter series. I think the first one was a really, really great game, and the second one evolved it. The third one, kind of a shaky game, but I still think it's a really good video game series that a lot of people don't give credit to. I mean, it's one of the best PS2 games of all time. Oh, and also another one for overrated video game series, Metal Gear Solid. Ooh, I went there. Everyone's going to be angry now. Johnny Russo asked, if there was a brand split, who would each show's first 3 picks be and who would be the GMs? Oh, God, I wouldn't even want a brand split. Oh, have you seen the WWE roster, Johnny Russo? That brand split would be terrible. Oh, my God. They can barely write for Raw 3 hours with the whole roster on their side. What makes you think they can write for 2 different shows? But for the question's sake, for Raw, the first 3 picks, John Cena, Randy Orton, and then probably Sheamus. That would be on the Raw side, and the GM would be Triple H. For SmackDown, the GM would be Stephanie McMahon, and her first 3 picks would be, you know, Daniel Bryan, Seth Rollins, and Dean Ambrose. I don't know, just throwing names out there. Cockpit would be on Raw, of course, but I don't think it would be a first 3 pick. The fake Scott Steiner asks, where's dinner? I'm hungry. In the oven. Fake Scott Steiner, in the oven. Rainbow Dash asks, do you think WWE will ever end or be canceled? Yeah. I always wondered that, when it could end, when it could be canceled. I sit here sometimes and I wonder to myself, especially the way that the company is going. I'm not saying that it will get canceled anytime soon, but just looking at the ratings and just looking at the numbers they're pulling, they're still making money, but they're not making as big as money as they were back in the 90s. I mean, if they're making money like they were in the 90s, I'd be like, oh yeah, no, WWE is going to be fine for like the next 40 years. But looking at it in a 20-year future, if the WWE network doesn't really step up and starts to get past 1 million subscribers, because yeah, cool, WWE got 1 million subscribers, but you keep giving free months every single fucking month, so you're just influctuating your numbers without making any money out of it. So really, to be honest, in the next 10 years, if you're not at, and I mean that serious here, a lot of people will say I'm crazy for fucking saying this, but the next 10 years, if they're not hitting like 5 million for their WWE network, why do you still have it? Just being real here, 10 million people, like 5 million people should be subscribed to the WWE network in the next 10 years. I know a lot of people will look at me like I'm crazy, but look at how many fucking subscribers Netflix has. Look at how many subscribers some YouTube channels have. Look at how many subscribers Hulu has, if you get what I'm saying. So it could definitely down the line, maybe in like 20, 22 years. I would guess 22 years just based off ratings that they've been getting. And I'm a weird person and I'm looking at charts and shit. So I'm guessing like, oh, if they're getting ratings like this here, then, maybe they'll start dropping off here. So, in 22 years, the WWE could be canceled or it could live on forever. Largest 85 asks, thoughts on WWE banning the curb stomp, stupid or not? WWE did not ban the curb stomp. They just have it on the side. So yeah, there we go. They just didn't ban the curb stomp. I don't know why people think they banned it. Like, didn't you all read the other report that said they just want Seth Rollins to use a new finisher so they can make the curb stomp feel special? I'm cool with that. Travis Nelson asks, why is WWE such a joke? You have Kane and Big Show up and around the main event scene. Didn't know this was 2003, but whatever. Oh, God. Because WWE believes that people still care about these two. That's the problem with WWE. Like, a lot of people like to say, well, there's certain problems with the WWE, but it's just because the WWE believes that we still care about the guys that we liked like 10 years ago. Like, I'm a huge Randy Orton fan, but it's like Randy Orton's still in the main event. John Cena's still in the main event. Big Show's in the main event. Kane's in the main event. Like, my friend said it best to me at Royal Rumble 2015. He's like, man, Chase, it was really sad that I was getting excited watching The Rock beat down Kane and Big Show. And then I realized if you would have told me in 1999, 2000 that I'd be watching The Rock do the same shit to Kane and Big Show, I wouldn't believe you. And it's true. We're getting excited for The Rock beating up Kane and Big Show, a segment that we saw in the year 2000. They just need to learn how to build new stars, man. It's sad that they just have to build around Kane and Big Show. Like, no one wants to see Big Show face someone. No one wants to see Kane face someone. These guys are just not relevant on our television sets anymore. I mean, I'm not trying to discredit their whole careers. Like, Big Show had a really good career. Same with Kane. But it's just like, who gives a shit what these guys are doing today? I mean, yeah, if you're a fan of these two, I understand there's Kane fans, but I don't know how you're a Big Show fan nowadays. But if you're a fan of these two, cool. But it's just like, why do you want them in the main event? It just makes no sense to me. Diamento asks, should Curtis Axel start a New World Order parody? If so, who do you think should be in it? No. I don't think he should start a New World Order parody. But if I were to choose two guys that would probably be in it, Heath Slater would be, the fake Kevin Nash in that group. And as for Scott Hall, who's Zack Ryder? Why not? Curtis Axel, Zack Ryder, and Heath Slater, a fake NWO. Just to choose two people. Snowdrop asks, why don't the midget marks ever give credit to luchadors of the WWE? You figure with how much flips and kicks they do that the marks would adore them. That's a really good question. I never really understood it because, Rey Mysterio started to get a lot of hate near the end of his WWE career, like when people start to realize, oh, he's just for the kids. But he wrestles, like the Smarks want. I think it's more of like the luchador style is not really what like a lot of hardcore Smarks want. They like the more stronger style, the guys like kicking the shit out of each other, the hybrid MMA type of BS that you see down there in ROH instead of the slow pacing that lucha brings. Because lucha, like a lot of people think lucha's like really, really fast. It can be fast sometimes, but more or less, lucha's like very, very like slow pace where it's like really the actions are really planned out in advance. Like you can just tell that they work on these spots. It's like doing like a dance inside of the ring. So I think that's why most people don't jizz over lucha wrestlers. World Herald asks, Railed Herald Q&A. Railed Herald question. Does Chase Auber 68 think Daniel Bryan should retire due to injuries? Asked by Railed Herald. Yeah, I think he should. I mean, what else does Daniel Bryan need to prove? He's done a lot in the company. I think if his fans were actually fans, they would care more about him wanting to be a father in the future than actually him just entertaining us. Just being real here, one of my favorite wrestlers was, just getting injured all the time. I would say, dude, go be at home. Don't worry about what the hell is going on in the ring. I mean, you've made enough money, hopefully. The way Daniel Bryan lives, it's not like Daniel Bryan is going to go bankrupt anytime soon. So, yeah, why not let Daniel Bryan just have, a happy life outside the ring? I'm cool with it. Yeah, I'm good with that. You also asked a question about Edge and if he would be in a wheelchair if he never ended his career. Most likely. I just didn't want to read the full question because, one question per video type of deal. Johnny Green asked, why didn't WWE sell the Boogeyman gummy worms as a merchandise while he was over in 2006? Because that would make too much fucking sense, Johnny Green. Why give a lower card guy something to work with? Yeah, we gotta make that new John Cena t-shirt. That's more important than giving Boogeyman something interesting. Just being real here. That's how the WWE thinks, and it's stupid. RFB089 asked, do you think in an alternate universe that when Seth Rollins goes to a fun fair and wants to go on the Ferris wheel, that he's denied access to the ride by the operator, as the operator says, your dick has to be this big to ride the farms? That was a good one. Your dick has to be this big to ride the farm's wheel. Good one. Bill Bradford asks, if the streak was still intact, would you rather see Undertaker versus Cena or Sting versus Undertaker? Undertaker versus Cena. Well, how would I want to see Sting and Undertaker? I know Undertaker's going to win that. Now, Undertaker versus Cena. I don't know who's going to win that shit. John Cena's the one guy where it's just like, that streak might end in the hands of John Cena. You know that the crowd's going to be hyped. Like Sting and Undertaker, that's a nostalgic pop. But Undertaker and Cena, that's just going to be every move type of pop. You will have it where Cena just goes for a punch and these fans boo this fucker out the building. So definitely Undertaker versus Cena. Reed19 asks, what if on Raw, when Randy Orton was RKOing everyone, he had shown up during Bray Wyatt's promo to try and hit him with an RKO? Yes. Yeah, Bray Wyatt cut a stupid promo. Gets that fucking RKO. Fuck Bray Wyatt. Final Limits asks, what if Orton at Extreme Rules squashes Rollins within 10 seconds and wins the title? How pissed off with the IWC and YWCB? Super pissed off. Probably threatened not to watch the company anymore. I don't know how Orton would do it without the RKO, but as we saw at Extreme Rules, he pulled out the pedigree, so maybe he would borrow the powers of Gudug to do it. So it'd be funny to see the internet rage, and then I'd be like, why are you surprised? Breakfast Club rules, bitches. You also ask about Big Sean and Ariana Grande breaking up. I don't care. I like Big Sean as a rapper, and I think Ariana Grande has a beautiful voice, but I don't care that they broke up. Redwolf316 asks, did you see the teaser trailer for Batman vs. Superman Dawn of Justice? If so, what do you think of it? Pretty cool. I like the angle that, Superman's being this villain. I know a lot of Superman fans get pissed off about that, but I like it. I think it's cool. And I like the line that Ben Affleck said at the end where he has that weird bat suit. I'm digging the bat suit in all honesty. I think the bat suit's pretty cool. And he's all like, do you bleed? If not, I'm going to make you bleed. I was like, oh, that's fucking badass. So I liked it. I thought it was pretty exciting for me. Clarkson to Iron Man 316 Lopez asked, which superhero movie did you like the least? Catwoman or Batman and Robin? I think in a previous Q&A a long time ago, I actually said Batman and Robin is one of my guilty pleasure superhero movies. So I actually liked that one because I liked it as a kid. And, yeah, sure, it's a terrible movie, but I still liked it as a kid. Catwoman is just dreadful in so many fucking ways. It is probably one of the worst movies next to Elektra. Oh, God. Try watching those two movies back to back, and just if you want to fucking make yourself even worse, go watch Daredevil. Triple threat of shitty movies there. Rebecca Olson asks, if Randy Orton has a really large ring boner, then how do you think he's able to fit it inside his wife's tight vagina? He forces it in there, just like his whole WWE career. You want to make it to the top, you just gotta force yourself in there, baby. Ah, the Viper, Randy Orton. Ultimate WWE apologist asks, do you think WWE made the right decision of banning the curb stomp? I thought it was a great decision by the WWE. Ultimate WWE apologist. They didn't ban the curb stomp, they're just saving it. There you go. And if you thought it was the right decision that they banned it, good for you. Greg Toomer asks, if Triple H's daughters ever make it to the WWE when they get older, do you think WWE should make them a faction called Triple Bitches or Triple Queens or whatever? And how many divas do you see them bearing? Oh, that would be fucking awesome. The Triple Queens, I would fucking love that. Triple Bitches are like their insult, but they're called the Triple Queens. And how many divas will they bury? Psh, every single one of them. It will be awesome television. You know, I'll be missing my Triple H. Like, I'm not going to lie. A lot of you people may not miss Triple H when he's gone, but I'm going to miss him. I'm going to miss the long, drawn-out Triple H promos that make no fucking sense. I'm going to miss the ego stroking that he has. I'm going to miss so much that what Triple H brings to the table. Just being real here. I'm just going to miss so much of what Triple H does. So really, to be honest, having his daughters cutting long Triple H promos, flicking their hair like Triple H, and, you know, just looking like a badass in general, and burying other divas will bring me great sense of humor to me, and will restore my faith in professional wrestling. The Real Heel asks, who's your favorite Star Wars character? That's a great question. Who's my favorite Star Wars character? I like a lot of them. I like R2 just because he doesn't talk and he has normally some of the funnier bits inside the movies. And he does pretty much useful stuff. You can't fly the fighter jet without R2. I found Darth Vader to be really interesting until they like fucked him up for me in the prequels because they made Anakin such a little fucking bitch. So it'd probably be R2 or Obi-Wan. Those would be probably my two favorite Star Wars characters because Obi-Wan was very wise, and I always figured, like, you know, if I were to ever become a master to someone, I'd be like Obi-Wan, very wise and all that other stuff. Jay Walker asks, why do fans out there defend the WWE even when WWE does some idiotic stuff sometimes? Because those fans are idiots. They just don't want to accept reality that the WWE sucks. Slapnuts 2000 asks, why do people still watch Raw when they should already know that's going to be 3 hours of boredom? I myself don't watch anymore. I only skip towards pay-per-views that have my interest. Yeah, as you can tell, I don't really do Raw reviews anymore because, yeah, you know, Raw reviews get views for my channel and stuff, but it's just like nothing really happens on these Raws. And now I'm working, like during Raws, like I work on Monday nights now, so I don't really have time to watch Raw, especially with school. Probably during the summertime, I'll bring back Raw reviews to this channel. But as of right now, it's just like, to me, I'm not really interested in these Raws. You know, I can go watch a review or go watch the YouTube clips to kind of get my fix, if you get what I'm saying. Josh Chambers asked, what did you think of Batista's heel run back in 2010? Loved it. Probably Batista's best moment in his career was during that heel run. You know, he's had really good babyface moments, but probably his best moment of his whole career was him being heel. Bark, 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 that's all you do. That's not what I do. You can go on and kissing babies and hugging fat girls, John. And you know what I'm going to be doing? Training. I recently showed some people in my class the clip of Batista saying that to John Cena, and everyone now loves Dave Batista, which is funny. One kid even wanted to know if he could watch Batista and Cena because he wanted to see who won that match. And lo and behold, LOL, Cena wins. Jake Loomis asks, do you think wrestling fans, or shall I call them IWC, live inside wrestling bubbles where wrestling is their whole life to them? Oh, yeah. Yeah, 100%. There's so many people I know where it's just like professional wrestling is like their life. Like they can't get outside that bubble and do anything else. Like, don't get me wrong. I love professional wrestling. Like, I love showing people like wrestling clips. Like when people want to check out professional wrestling, I'll show it to them. I'll show them like, hey, this is a good match that you should definitely check out. Like, I'll definitely try to get people to get into professional wrestling some way, somehow. But it's not like it's my life. It's not like, oh, I eat, live, and sleep and breathe WWE. It's not like where I'm like at work, like I'm like, oh fuck, I'm missing Monday Night Raw. This is terrible. It's like, oh, you know, like I have a life outside of wrestling, you know, like there's other stuff in the world besides professional wrestling for me, you know, like being honest here, when NFL season comes on, like I really could care less about professional wrestling. It's NFL and college football for me, that where my one loves first, you know, not freaking professional wrestling. But yeah, I feel like wrestling fans, like if you're so caught up in wrestling, go outside. There's many other great communities for you to, go explore and invest in besides just professional wrestling, and it'll make you less stressed, in my personal opinion. The fake good Mike Work asks, are you gay for John Cena? Because I am. Nope. But that's good for you, good Mike Work. I'm fake good Mike Work. I'm glad you're coming out of the closet on that one. Joe Juicy asks, how far do you think Linda McMahon shows her 12-inch cock down Vince McMahon's pussy? Oh, God. All the way down there. Ah! Mr. Juicy asks, what if Pegasus Kid ended Undertaker's undefeated streak before the tragedy? How is WWE going to cover this up? What do you mean Undertaker's streak ended by the Pegasus Kid? They'll cover that shit up easy. John Cool asks, how much carrots does Vince McMahon feed to Kevin Dunn whenever he's about to come up with a stupid decision? At least 1 carrot and 1 fucking cock in the mouth. I love Watermelon 525 asks, thoughts on the whole Bruce Jenner turning into a woman? Good for Bruce. He wants to be someone else in the world. Good for him. And Jack DeLeo asks, what is your favorite type of promo? For me, it's Paul Heyman putting over Brock Lesnar promos or 20-minute heel Triple H promos. I like the revealing promos where it's like, oh, you're going to reveal what's going to happen. It's like, here is Vince McMahon's illegitimate son. It's Hornswoggle. Like, I love those promos because they're really long. Sometimes they can have you at the edge of your seat like, oh, what's going to fucking happen? Who's coming out right now? And then all of a sudden, Undertaker's music hits or Hornswoggle's music hits or, oh, fucking hey, John Cena's back or The Rock's back. So, like, I like the revealing promos. Like, I just like those because they always get me anticipated. They always kind of get me excited for professional wrestling. Anyways, guys, thank you very much for sending in your questions for this week's edition of Q&A. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, subscribe down below. Follow me on Twitter at ChaseAuburn68. Remember, description box down below with all the ways you can send me questions. I'll see you all next time. Peace.